Hello and welcome to Charlotte Astrology. My name is Charlotte. I'm a full-time working astrologer, and on this channel I analyze the astrological charts of public figures, and very often they are celebrities and sometimes they are icons. Of course, I'll be talking about the great Robert Redford. He passed away a few days ago. He was 89 years old, so he had a pretty good run. I really enjoy Robert Redford. One of the first, I think the first movie I ever watched of his was called Barefoot in the Park with Jane Fonda, and he was this gorgeous, tall, handsome, straight-laced man, and he's married to this like crazy, beautiful, wacky 60s spitfire of a woman in Jane Fonda, and it was a really cute movie, really cute. But that's the main movie that I know him from. But I have seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which I watched when I was a child and have not watched again because it traumatized me. Should not have watched it as a child because I don't want to go back to it. And then there was The Way We Were with Barbara Streisand, which the chemistry's so good. Like, it's really good, very sad, and he's gorgeous in that too. And I don't think he'd enjoy me saying that he's gorgeous so much because he hated that his physical appearance was the thing that people mostly talked about through his whole career. Even when he was an old man, he wanted to create art. And he wanted to change the world through his art. And he did, because of him, we've got the Sundance Film Festival, right? So yeah, I want this reading to be a tribute to Robert Redford. And yeah, as like a thank you for just impacting the world in such a positive way. So thank you so much. Before I dive in, I just want you guys to know that, by the time this comes out, I might already be booked out, but from the 27th of September through to the 3rd of October, I will be having readings, 60-minute readings, and they are recorded, so you can just sit there, relax, while I tear apart your chart. You don't have to take notes, and yeah, you walk away with it with the reading. So if that's something that you're interested, you really like my readings, and you would like to get the chance to see me to talk about your chart, please do. It's linked below. I also do DM readings through Instagram, so add me on Instagram. I'm currently private on there, so I have to approve of you, but you can get some DMs because I got rid of my MP3 readings. So I'm just going to focus on DM readings for now, which are more immediate. And you can do that by adding me on Instagram and following all the instructions on Buy Me a Coffee to claim your purchase. And also, I'm going to be having a retreat next year in Europe in September. If you are interested in either going to Italy or Greece, please complete the survey below. And yeah, you can give an expression of interest, and we will contact you when we're ready to organize. Okay, thank you so much, and let's have a look at Robert Redford's chart. So Robert Redford was a Sun in Mars in Leo, and then he had a Venus and Moon and Mercury in Virgo here, with a descendant in Virgo as well. And then he had a Pisces rising, and of course a Saturn in Pisces. So he actually passed away on his Saturn return. At the end of his Saturn return, he had a few more months to go, but he came here and he left here because he did everything that he had to do. And it's really interesting that by the way, I like to reiterate this, as I have many times before, there is no definitive transit for dying. There's none. However, what I do observe is that the chart clicks into place. These are the transits for his death. His chart clicked into place. There was a lot of conjunctions, like transiting planets in conjunction with his natal planets here. So as you can observe, he is a 29-degree ascendant. Saturn currently is at 29 degrees in Pisces. This also counts as a Saturn return. So the transiting Saturn is in a conjunction with his natal Saturn. Yes, I count a 9 degrees orb. It counts. And this was his third time round with the Saturn return. So yes, he had finished all of his lessons, but as soon as Saturn went through, the moment Saturn transited back into Pisces at 29 degrees, his body gave out. The ascendant is your physical body, and Saturn is restriction and challenge, and it gave out. He took his last breath. Yeah. And then, I just remembered someone told me, Career things. There was something with his career, with his legacy, with the Sundance Film Festival. What's going on? Cinephiles, what's going on? What's this I hear about Sundance Film Festival changing or being cancelled or something like that, or movie that I've heard something. Cinephiles, let me know. But something's going on here professionally for him at the time of his death that may have been a bit upsetting for him. Let me know. But I heard some things. It makes so much sense because Saturn returns always affect your money. They always affect your reputation. So, yeah. Now, if we move here, you can see a lot of Virgo. It makes so much sense that Leos love to be perceived as pretty, right? That's super important. But Virgo placements, they want to be perceived as confident, people of substance. They're perfectionistic, and he's got a lot of Virgo here, but it's creative Virgo. It's not stale, boring Virgo, which, by the way, Virgos, you are not boring. I really admire you people. You sit on my midheaven. I'm heartbroken that a lot of you don't like me because I love Virgos. Don't love me back. It's so unrequited. Anyway, Moon in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, and then there's like Neptune here in the mix. So a deeply, deeply creative, spiritual man. Like, I think a lot of his projects are very focused on the spiritual and or romantic, and sacrifice and tragedy. All of this Virgo is trying to what? Uranus in the second. He makes his money from he makes his money from creative things, but also things that are quite inconsistent. I think money's quite inconsistent in his life, but because Uranus in a money house is trining so well with his personal placements, very often he is the center of his work. Personal planets trining a generational planet in a money house, he's going to be making money off his personality, his creativity, his mind, his beauty. I mean, look at that. Venus is beauty, Mercury is the mind. He writes scripts. He's a great speaker. It's quite introverted though. It's quite introvert. He's got so much Virgo. I think being behind the camera is where his real passion lied. Don't get me wrong. I think he really enjoyed being an actor. Being a gorgeous actor is a lot of fun, but it's not everything. His sun's not really aspecting much, is it? He's a Leo sun, and he's a gorgeous Leo sun, but I think it's a little bit introverted because it's not aspecting anything. I think being a performer and being beautiful would normally, if it's well aspected, really, it's a glow. It makes you feel really good. And I think he was really good at performing, and I think he's really good. Like, he was great. He got the kind of praise that a Leo would like, but because it's really not well aspected, there's not a lot of joy in being the center of attention all the time. I think the real joy came from creating things behind the scenes, and of course acting like in that as well was nice. But yeah, his sun is not aspecting anything. A bit of an introverted Leo, still creative, still loves the arts, but yeah, not really. It's not aspected. That's so interesting. Uranus and Venus are trined. That's a viral kind of beauty. And I know he came of age without the internet, but I mean, if he were a young man now with this placement, he's got that viral kind of beauty. Uranus governs like Aquarius things, like the populace. So having that in an exact trine with Venus, which is beauty, his beauty will go viral, or his beauty will be the thing that he's really, really known for. He's so gorgeous. And that helps. It plays into, it helps get his art out there. Mercury is also in a trine with Uranus, so writing really good stories with substance, and with his gorgeous face smack bang on the poster, this trine really works. And then there's also Neptune sandwiched in between. So not only is his beauty something that captures the imagination and the hearts of people all over the world, Neptune with the Mercury indicates that he has his fingers on the pulse of society. Like, he's very tapped into the general population's tastes, and that's why his films were so popular. And he did the Sundance Film. He created the Sundance Film Festival. And because of the Sundance Film Festival, there's all these amazing films and filmmakers that we have now. He's, So yeah, Uranus trine the Mercury. That's an ingenious mind. And in a conjunction with Neptune, just very, very intuitive. He's got good taste. And that Venus trining Uranus is that viral popular beauty. He's got the beauty, he's got the brains. Moon in Virgo, it's conjunct the descendant, very needy. I mean, he was married twice and he was pretty in some pretty long-term relationships, but I mean, if you're a seventh houser, oh, you got planets that play out in the seventh house, like you really, really want to be in a relationship. I think he needs to be in these harmonious, productive relationships in order to get his, not only just to be emotionally healthy, but in order to get his art off the ground and to, like, he needs to be working in partnerships with people. Yeah. And his moon playing into the seventh, or the moon on the descendant, basically, that would be him needing to ping pong off other people. Like, he doesn't really know how he feels until he can like bounce off someone else. He's a bouncer. He needs to bounce off other people in order to know how he feels. Yeah. What is squaring that? Jupiter square Venus. The dedication and all the fame, the dedication to his career and the fame that came with it is also a bit of a burden. I don't think he liked fame. I think he liked making art. Jupiter in the same sign as the midheaven just lights it up like a Christmas tree, like immense success, immense respect. Also, there's the energy here is of like both an authority, but like a friendly authority. Like, if you think of Saturn as like the dad that slaps you on the butt when you're naughty, like the Punisher. Jupiter is the daddy that reads you a bedtime story. Like that's what Jupiter, and Jupiter in the 10th house, or Jupiter with the midheaven, is like a lot of honor and a lot of glory, and someone who's meant to either be a teacher or a storyteller for a living, which is what he was. Like, I think a lot of people came to him to get nurturing, or to get skills, like to learn skills from him. He's got that. However, his dedication to his craft and to his work did interfere with his relationships. Jupiter squares Venus. Like, when you have a planet that is in a difficult aspect to your Venus, there are certain things that will make you go off track with your value systems. It's very often environmental. Well, if it's a generational planet, if it's in a square or an opposition to your Venus, wherever that Jupiter is, or that Pluto, whatever it is, it's going to make you go off track. It's going to make you contradict your values. So I'm wondering if stuff happened at work which may have made him contradict his values. Now, the most awful way that this can play out is that an affair on set of a movie, flirting with people on a movie. It can be a bit of a cheater placement. It doesn't always have to be. If you've got Jupiter square Venus, it could be emotional affair. It could be a literal, like a physical, sexual affair. Yes, it can play out that way. But what if it's you spending too much time at the office and you can't be in your Venus? You can't be with your lover. You can't be with, and the moon is here, with your family, because you're so preoccupied with the project or the work or the, like, finishing your shift or blah 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 blah. Like, you're going your domestic world, your partnerships will suffer as a result of career success. And that's what happened here. He had a couple of divorces, right? Or at least one divorce. And I think the last lady he married, it was till the end. But it looks like there's some discontent and drama. Like, the work, the Jupiter with the midheaven, or in the same sign as the midheaven, is clashing with all these Virgo placements. Like, so beautiful, so well respected. Everybody wanted a piece of him, and it took a toll on his domestic life and his romantic relationships, for sure, with this aspect. Yes. It's a war of work and relationships. He really didn't. He was so Hollywood, but he didn't like Hollywood. Or at least I think he appreciated it for what it was and the opportunities. He certainly leveraged it, very well. But yeah, it's he loved it and he hated it at the same time. When you're an artist and you create, what if your projects and your art become really popular and everybody loves you and wants it, but then you hate the attention, you know? And then he's got Saturn in the same sign as his ascendant. I'm going to count it as a conjunction. I'm just going to count it. I know there's a 9-degree orb, and a lot of astrologers don't like. A lot of astrologers are like, it's more than 5 degrees. It's not a conjunction, so it doesn't affect it at all. It does. It does affect it. People with Saturn on the ascendant, or people that have Saturn in the first house, they mature very early on in life. They carry the weight of the world. It kind of makes that person a little bit more introverted, makes them hold back a little bit. They can also have a bit of a intimidating presence. And yes, he was gorgeous and boy next door looks, but in his physical presence, like very strong, like strong jaw, strong body, strong, and kind of distant. As well, as handsome, as charismatic as he was, it gives him a more introverted kind of energy. Highly compassionate, Pisces rising, is very perceptive, sees through people. Like, the man is giving some psychic energy, a little psychic. Obviously not with a crystal ball wearing a flower crown, but he very intuitive. He reads people very well. I think he probably had some very good bedside manner. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. He's got great bedside manner. I mean, his chart ruler is both Jupiter and Neptune, and they play out in the 7th house, because he's got Virgo descendant, in the house of other people, and then the house of work. So I think he had a lot of empathy for people, even if he was quite reserved and quite maybe seemingly standoffish. He's also quite generous and understanding at the same time. Yeah, and like, what am I supposed to say about this North Node in Capricorn with the midheaven? Business was the reason why he was put here. Learning, and that's hard because that's what you're comfortable with. I want to stay home. I want to stay home, and I want to make my art. I want to. I want my comforter. I want the good sheets. But the thing I have to learn to do is be a public figure. And do this Capricorn big daddy stuff, which is really, really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. You have to learn to get comfortable with this. If you got North Node with the midheaven, it's literally like learning how to manage a public persona, which he did. And it was irritating to him. He's like, fine, if I have to do this, I'm going to go live in the middle of nowhere. I'll be a famous person, but I want to live with all the animals because they don't give a crap that I'm famous. Like, anyway. By the way, if we look at this as Placidus, does anyone know anything about his dad? Because yes, we can read it as Saturn the first. But does anybody know if his dad disappeared or anything? I don't know anything. I don't know if he has. But Saturn, if we read it as Saturn, if we want to read it as Saturn in the 12th, dad's gone, and hopefully he's not. Hopefully his dad never did that. But I'm doing the party trick astrology thing where I'm like, if I count that as Saturn in the 12th, dad's drunk or gone or something. Yeah. And it does oppose his moon and his Jupiter. And he's a bit needy. He needs other people. Like, if you got moon in the 7th, you're needy of other people. Why does he find home in partnership and not home at home? Like, home is a difficult thing for him. Saturn opposite the moon. I don't say family hates him. Not that. I mean, sometimes it plays out that way, but like, moon is the mum, Saturn is dad, and they're on opposite sides of the chart, and there's this really heavy tension between them. So I don't want to say that his parents were divorced when he was a young kid or anything like that. I don't know, but it looks to me like dad looks like a bit of an issue. Anyway, people in the comments, if you know more about Robert Redford, let me know. Anyway, thank you so much. This is all I've got to say. There was nothing else he could have done but been an artist. Nothing. He was born to be a creative. Working a 9-to-5 job just wasn't in the cards of him. Even Jupiter trine Mars as well. Like, he had so much creative energy. He just wanted to make things. Yeah. He's a bit neurotic though. Like, neurotic with his projects. Like, very perfectionistic. A little bit pushy at times, but anyway, we still love him. All right, guys. Yeah, that's it. have fun with this eclipse. Oh, actually, I think when this comes out, it'll be way after the eclipse. And by the way, he died during an eclipse season. He's got heavy Pisces and Virgo right here. So interesting. Moon on the Mars. Sorry. Everything's clicking into place. Do you see what I mean? Look at all these conjunctions. The South Node, the Sun, the Mercury return, Saturn return, Moon moving through Pluto and Mars when he died. Like, look, click, 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 click. Click. Mars, like if we did this whole sign, Mars moving through the 8th house, it's all clicking. Everything's clicking into place. Anyway. Bye, guys. See you in the next video.